yeah, I might have still won gold medal, but it would be nice to have an extra achievement.
Yeah, but this is the point that I shall continue to bang the drum on, is I think goal setting is very useful so long as you realise that there's plenty of value outside of the goal itself. I think if you, for instance, I use my brief music career as an example. I wanted to go into music at the time. Now, that didn't transpire. It was something that ended up not being what I wanted it to be. I just didn't enjoy it. But as a result of doing that, as a result of setting the goal of getting an album out, I learnt a lot about the value of things like discipline. I learnt how to work for longer periods of time. I learnt the value of delayed gratification. I learnt the importance of taking yourself seriously enough to go, this is what I'm working towards, this is what I want to do. So, though in terms of musical skill, I won't have attained a great deal because I haven't done it for a long time, there's so much value that I got from setting the goal itself. I think setting goals and being open to just seeing what comes from pursuit. This is my point, is discipline and trying are interlinked. I think discipline is not success, it's trying. And when you try, there's something there that comes of that. There's some value, absolutely. And I think we place too much emphasis on the result itself and not enough on, if I give this as much effort as I can, what will I get from that? Because you will get a lot from it. It's like, if you are scared of approaching women and the way that you look at that is, I need to go and get this person's number, you've said it in a manner of which now it's either success or failure. You either get the number or you don't. If you reframe that as, I'm scared to do this, so let me just go over there, it's no longer a matter of success and failure in the same way, because if you go, you've won. So it doesn't, you now put the control in your palm. It's you that can determine whether you've been successful or not, because on that example, you can't dictate whether someone says yes or no. That is, with to a reasonable degree, chance. Whereas if it's down to, I either do the work or I put the effort in or don't, that's whether I've won or not, well then you've got the cards then. There's a tremendous amount of value in setting a goal and being open to whatever comes from that.
Yeah, definitely. I think what I've actually done in saying that I'd be pissed off that I didn't reach Usain Bolt's world record is sort of the way I go about my goals, just in general. So, like, getting angry that I didn't go to the gym for like a day, so I'll beat myself up. It's kind of like that. If I had trained for Mr. Olympia, if I'd actually trained for Mr. Olympia and I didn't get through, or didn't win, or didn't even come top 3, I would be like majorly pissed off at myself, because I'd put all that hard work in the gym for absolutely nothing. I think that's just how my mind works.
But it isn't for nothing though.
Yeah.
That's my point. I think this hinges on effort. I think if you were to be in that position and you didn't quite win or achieve the desired goal, if you could come away from that knowing that you did everything you could, I don't think you'd be as upset as you think you are. I think people are upset with failure when they know they could have done more. I think if you do as best as you can, I think it's very difficult to actually be upset with that, because you know you did as best as you can. And I think a lot of the time that feeling comes from knowing that you didn't actually work as hard as you could have done, or just total irrationality. Yeah. I think irrationality is at the centerpiece of the conqueror's mindset. I think the person that wants to improve and achieve and grow doesn't understand that there are limitations that are out of their control. For instance, when I went on my run last Saturday, I do 5Ks on Saturday mornings. my best time's about 24 and a half minutes. Now, I wanted 24.
That's good.
And the week after that, I came in and I got about 25:30 or so. Now, for context, I had a little bit of a Barney the night before. I didn't sleep very well. I didn't eat anything after about 4 o'clock the day before either. So I was not, in every sense, fit and fighting. I was not at my optimal performance.
Yeah.
When I finished that race, now that was my doing. I was in control of all of those factors. When I finished that race, I was inherently annoyed with myself because I thought, for fuck's sake, why have you regressed? We were 24 and a half last week. Why is it 25 and a half this week? And I realised that I was actually trying to be annoyed with myself rather than looking at it and going, well, do you know what? All things considered, that's not too bad, given the fact that you're not at your fit and fighting state. That's pretty good, you know. And I think realising that there's an irrational aspect that lies within discipline is really important. It speaks to what we said earlier of we assume that if we don't go to the gym for one day, that we've lost the progress. We're all of a sudden not the disciplined person. It's just wrong. And I think discipline and warping go together hand in hand. Absolutely.
Yeah. 25 and a half minutes still is pretty good for,
exactly.
For a 5k.
But that's my point.
That's 5 minutes per kilometre. That's still pretty quick.
Exactly.
That's still very quick.
But in my head, I'd failed.
Yeah.
Well, why had I failed? I mean, not to mention the fact you didn't even want to do it today. It was raining. It was cold. You just didn't want to do it. So this is my point. This is my point when it comes to effort. Is if you try, you've won. I think reframing, and as well, you accidentally, in many respects, fall towards your goals when you do that. Because if you go, rain or shine, happy or sad, I'm going to do it. You are going to do it more and you are going to grow more than the person that goes, I'm only going to do it when I feel disciplined and ready to do it. I think reframing what it means to succeed is integral to success.
Yeah. It's kind of like... And you can apply discipline to anything.
Yeah.
As well. It's like with me, still procrastinating making those videos on protein and exercises and stuff like that. I've still procrastinated to do them because I was meant to have done them by last week. I still haven't done them.
Yeah.
But there's something in the back of my mind that's sort of telling me that's sort of like, are you actually like ready to make these videos yet, or is there still a bit more information you can still sort of gather to sort of be final with your decision on what you think is best? And I think that is sort of the case with it, but it is also sort of like a discipline sort of thing, because it's like, I know I've got to go through the hassle of saying the lines correctly, making sure all the words are like said properly, making sure it's clear, and then doing a voiceover on the top of it, then trying to get the lines correct in the voiceover, and then trying to match up the audio so that my lips sync up with the voiceover as well. Like, it's just, I don't know if that's putting me off or what, but something is just really stopping me.
Let me pose you a question.
Yes.
As the first and the most recent guest of this podcast,
Correct.
what differences do you notice? Do you have a microphone in front of your face?
No, that's true.
Do we have two microphones now? Is the lighting different?
It's very different.
Does the computer actually work now?
Yes, it does, with a lot of stress and a lot of pain.
Did any of that work the first time we did this?
Well, I mean...
James?
Yeah, no, okay.
My point is, if you wait until you're ready, you won't be ready. It doesn't matter if the first time you make this video, the audio doesn't sound wonderful, or you don't quite get the edit the way you want to. Just do it. It doesn't... This is why I don't like the perfectionist approach, because it stops perfection is the enemy of the good. And I totally agree. If you just do it, then you'll learn on the job. And I think that's a really important point, is you'll do it. Like, I've had podcasts where I've released them, the audio's been shit. Right, well, now I know not to do that. Or the camera's been wonky. Right, make sure the camera's as it should be. Or that light hasn't been charged. Make sure that's charged then. When you do it at all, you realise where you go wrong. Like we said at the start of this video about you go into the gym and you realise that your technique's off on this one thing. So you go, right, how do I go and do that? Let me work out how to do this. If you just start, then you will work out how to do it. Think about it. How are you going to learn how to make this video, do the subtitles, do the audio, do everything that needs to be done without doing it?
Yeah, that's where I'm going wrong.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
And the fact that I've noticed that's where I'm going wrong.
Yeah,
it's going to
that's
give me
really
the discipline to actually just do it.
Exactly, and this is my point when it comes to growth, is when you can sort of... I don't think we cut ourselves enough slack. And I think when you learn to do that, as you've just done there, case in point, when you go, yeah, actually, could probably do that, then you open yourself up to growth. I think people assume they've got to get it right, and when they know intrinsically that they haven't got it right, they won't address it. And when they don't address it, they don't change it. It's like the person that won't ask the stupid question because they don't want to look stupid.
Yeah.
Well done. You don't look stupid, but you are, because you haven't answered the question.
It's true.
Or you haven't asked the question. I think we assume that we need to be ready to do something in order to start it, and it's not the case. When you just... There's a real art to just doing it. Seeing what happens, seeing what fucks up, and just seeing what happens. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake. In fact, there's plenty right with making a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, mistakes need to be made. Because it's important to remember, we're just people. We have to make mistakes. It's impossible to go your entire life without making a mistake. And if someone manages to go their entire life without making even the tiniest of mistakes, well, who are you?
They would be a hermit living in a cave somewhere, and herein lies the very mistake that is their lives. They never chose to live. No one...
That was very wisdomy.
What can I say? The point is, no one escapes this life without failing, and you should embrace that.